All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the official Trade Talk channel where I help you analyze, or I show you the way that I analyze price for the most consistent and higher probable entries to help you become a better trader. So how's everybody doing this morning? This is a fantastic morning, Thursday morning. It is February the 3rd. Bitcoin has fallen, or is currently falling. So you can see here this 50% retracement level here. You can see that has held price, unfortunately. We were looking for that potentially to be an area where price would eventually find a little bit of resistance, as it is the midpoint of your last week, that breakdown week. If we go back out here real quick to show you what I am referring to, you can see this week here. This was the week that broke down. Then you traded up into it last week. This week, you took out that week's high and rolled over. And you can see that on the hourly chart. We go back intraday. You can see how you put in sort of like a head and shoulders formation up here at the 50% retracement level. This candle here was the candle that took out our bullish targets. Our bullish targets was this wick. So once you took out that price, that was where all the supply was sitting, all the stop losses. Price immediately pulled back into the range. And then yesterday, we seen it moving lower. Now, yesterday's price action had a lot of people bumfuzzled as the dollar was going down. The S&P 500 was going up. It wasn't going up big time, but it was still going up. So everybody was like, what's going on? Why is Bitcoin moving lower if price essentially should be going higher according to other markets and their metrics? Well, it looks like Bitcoin was a leading indicator yesterday. When this happens, when price kind of sort of decouples from other metrics, like if other assets are moving higher, other risk assets are moving higher, and Bitcoin is moving lower, that can be a tell sometimes. I will look at other markets to take positions, like we got long on this last push lower based on what other markets were doing, other risk markets. And this time, instead of it being, basically what I'm trying to get out is the S&P 500 was going higher yesterday and Bitcoin was going lower. We were kind of watching to see if Bitcoin found support to then catch back up to the risk markets. Like it was just a pullback into an area of support before the next move higher. But then at the close yesterday, the S&P 500 fell off. So Bitcoin was essentially telling us what the risk markets were currently about to do. So I'm going to pull this up over here real quick just so I can show you. Let me maximize this cell. Basically, you can see how this green line is your options weekly expected move. Yesterday we closed well above that expected move. So every now and then when you do get these moves lower or higher than your expected move, that's when price is getting extremely stretched out to the upside. So here we could see that potentially price is moving back lower to get back into that expected move range. And we're seeing that currently with this move lower. So if I show you here, if you look right here, you can see yesterday's close, and then immediately after the bell, price pulls back. All right. So let's just go back over here to the SPX 500. This way I can get everything situated to show you what's going on. It's not a massive fall, right? It is not a massive fall. It is a small push lower, but nevertheless, you're seeing continuation off of that move. Found a little bit of support during the Asian session last night, and now you're moving lower. So we're going to be looking for continuation to the downside, probably to and around 44.91, which will be support from this hourly candle over here. So that would be a decent size daily range if you were to get down there, but that is potentially going to be support. If you're looking to take trades on the S&P 500 this morning, you would want to see a resistance hold if you're looking to go short at and around the pre-market resistance, which is going to be 45.49 spot 90. that hourly push up, that will be resistance. So if you get a 5-minute push up on the bell, on the open this morning, the opening bell, then that would be a potential spot to look to get some puts. This is not financial advice, obviously. I got short yesterday and I sat in the position pretty much the entire time watching price move against me, but it just didn't look right. It didn't feel right to me. Yesterday, here's on your open, you push up on the open and then you fall, right? And then you trade back up, sweep the highs on the close of the day. You're essentially sweeping those highs. And then there's your real move. So we will be looking for some sell side continuation today in moving in later on into the day. Bitcoin's taken a beating. When we got long over the weekend, that position has since been closed out. You can see here that price traded all the way back down to the entry. Here was the entry, and here. So now you can see that price is well below where we took a long position. So anybody that did get long, they are stuck. They're stuck. And when people are stuck on the wrong side of the market, you can get pretty big moves. Good morning. Good morning. Morning. Thanks for the stream. Let's go. 30K. I don't know if you're going to get 30K today, but let's go look at the daily. We were at daily support yesterday, the same daily support at which we got long last week, but you can see now that you are trading below. Yesterday, you did close above the level. So this lower move, is it possible that it just trades lower and then reverses? It is, but what you're starting to see is sell side continuation. That's the support when we got long. So it held it yesterday. Today, you're trading well under it. So maybe a pushback up into yesterday's open or today's open that happened yesterday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if you're going to get a pushback up to there, but it's always a good spot to watch. So we got daily support there. And here is that open right here. 1900 hours traded up. Just could not get any kind of movement at all. And then now you're seeing boom, boom. So yeah, we're pretty much going to be standing back and seeing where this thing finds support. Where is the next area to find support if we lose this support? Now, we won't know if we lose this support until today's close, but right now it looks like you're going to be closing well under support. Next daily support is $35,066. This daily support down here. So if you lose this area, that area might sometime in the future be a decent spot to look for potential sell side entries targeting 35,066. I wouldn't be trying to short it today. Obviously, you're at the bottom of the daily range. It can absolutely go lower, but we like to take higher probable entries on this channel. So we'll wait for that higher probable entry. It could come Friday or Saturday. I mean, hell, I guess it could come today even, right? If you get a spike up into that. So just keep an eye on 36,840. That is going to be a level to watch. It's going to be very important moving on into the week. Up into the close. Let's go check out the weekly ranges. Let's get rid of everything so we can see. All right, so you're into weekly support as well, so you may get a bounce from here, right? You're below daily support, but you're at weekly support, so that's why you're seeing a slight bounce from here currently. Obviously, you don't want to see it close below, guys. I mean, it's just been a one-sided market straight down. There are metrics that we were looking at to show us that. You know what I mean? The top is in for this year. The top is in. We were preparing you for that. Prepared. SPY or QQQ when you enter. Where, when, and where would you enter? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, let's go look at it real quick. So you can see SPY already pushed well above its 50% retracement from this weekly move down lower. So like this would be the area where I would have wanted to look for entries. And you can clearly see that yesterday you pushed well above that. Or not yesterday. Yesterday you opened well above that and started to trade away. You're coming into it right now pre-market. So, I mean, the short was yesterday. The short was yesterday. That's when I got short, yesterday. Now, I was losing while it was going higher. I was sitting in a losing position. But I held on to it because Bitcoin was crashing and this is moving higher. Tech's moving higher. You know what I mean? It was strange. I just didn't like it. I like for all the markets to basically be in line with one another, as that can put you on the right side. And if they're not in line with one another, then something is wrong. One of those markets is going to turn around. And the dollar was getting sold off all week. So, I mean, that was your entry yesterday. There is no entry today. If you want to watch for potential resistance, then watch yesterday's support, which will be this. During market trading hours, you have an intraday support that is lower. So if you want to watch that one, watch that one. So on the open, if you get an 5-minute push up into this, maybe it takes 15 or 20 minutes to get up into that. 454 spot 53. That's where I would be looking for potential entries. But make sure you manage your risk, because this could just be a pullback and the price can go higher. Maybe Bitcoin finds support at the weekly, right? You're at weekly support. So taking a short into weekly support, not smart. Not smart at all. So the short was yesterday. On the open, that position will be closed because you're already below yesterday's low. I can't close the position pre-market because it's with options. So I have to wait for the market to open, but I will be exiting that position with profit, which is fantastic because that's what we're trying to do here. But yeah, I don't give entry and exit signals, my friend. This is not a signal service. Not a signal service. Can we look at monthly, 2-week, longer time frames on Bitcoin? Absolutely. Let's go look at it real fast. I was getting on with that, but I just wanted to answer that one question. Yeah, the 2-week zones, 2 week and the monthlies are, I mean, you've had 3 months of solid down, so we were kind of looking for a bounce. We did get a bounce, but that bounce has been since sold off. You can see here, once you got above that $60,000 resistance, which I'm talking about is over here. It's not quite $60,000. I mean, it's $15 off from being 60K. So I just call it 60K. Once you got above that, you can see that you traded as an inside day, and then boom shakalaka back to the downside. This is where the supply is. So in order for me to become bullish on Bitcoin again, it has to get above that. As long as you're below that price, this white line, I'm still bearish. Still bearish. Price can trade all the way back up there, and I will still be bearish. But you can see that there is a area here where we could potentially see a bounce to one of these days if Bitcoin ever does bounce. Every bounce is getting sold into, guys. This is vicious. Vicious selling. Vicious. It's fantastic. I love it when a plan comes together. We were looking for that. That's what we were saying up in here, telling you guys to exit or at least start taking some profits. So now you can see you traded as an inside range. There's 10 days left on this candle. So last Sunday was the close. It closed decent. It closed at least 50% up off from the range, its entire range. But you can see you're getting more continuation lower. Man, right into the 618. Look at that. It's so beautiful. But I mean, when you're down this low and this extended, I just don't like it, right? I don't like it. There's a 2-week ETH level right there, or supply. But we also know we're into weekly support. The monthly level is, the monthly candles, it's just straight down 3 months. This is a new monthly, so 25 days left on it. I was looking for Bitcoin to find support. The next monthly support zone, since you're trading below monthly demand, is going to be 3560. 35060. That's on the Coinbase data feed. It's just this monthly close. It's the June 1st, 2021 candle. Just use its close. That will be your support zone. Don't look to just randomly buy it there, obviously. Price has to show us that it's going to hold. But we're coming into the weekly support. So there's really no trade on Bitcoin right now. I definitely don't want to buy it. But if you are looking to be a buyer, this is where you want to buy, right? You want to buy weekly supports. The problem is look at this move just happened yesterday. So all of this downside momentum coming into the bearish or into the weekly support, you might get a bounce for sure. It looks like it's wanting to right now. There's also hourly support here. Boom. So yeah, maybe looking for a bounce. If you do look to trade this, make sure you take profits. Don't be trying to get the daily high, because I don't know if you'll get it. That's if this area holds. There's no guarantee that it will. Man, it's just pathetic looking price action. Pathetic looking price action. Let's do something here. Where was I looking at? I don't know if it'll pull up with my internet. So this is the total supply and profit on Bitcoin is dropping. So people are they're losing money. Losing money right now. Everybody's losing money trying to pick bottoms and stuff. Let's see where they are in loss. Moving higher. So the people that are losing money is moving higher. And the people that are not making is moving lower. Oh no. Oh no. So I'm not a Glassnode analyst. I just started looking at this stuff, but there was one thing that I wanted to show you on the stream that nobody on Twitter was talking about ever, that was essentially showing you that Bitcoin was about to roll over. But when I find it, I'll make sure I write it down so that way I can also explain it and everything. I just don't feel like digging through it on the stream. But it's moving lower. Let's go see what we're doing on the FX side of things, see if there might be a potential trade this morning. You can see that pound CAD's coming off a little bit. Let me go out to the dailies. Yeah, pound CAD's been moving higher. I was potentially looking to get long on it, but I never got an entry. And you got to be careful of trading pound CAD. It can be really whipsawy, like these big wicks. Look how your daily ranges are getting bigger. You're taking the highs and the lows each time, but not really going anywhere. That's terrible price action. Last stab lower, smokes all the liquidity, and then you push up. This was resistance, but it closed well above it. So now you're looking into this area here. It's about at the midpoint of the day. Let's look at this. So this is probably where I'd be looking to trade. Let's get rid of these levels. These are obviously old. Well, we have daily res here. It's going to be the same price as the open. And price is pushing up. Let's go check it out. All right, so this looks like a liquidity run right here. And you're getting some kind of continuation off of the pound yen. So the two areas I would look for potential short side entries on pound yen be 155.477. And then obviously 1 hour res at 155.577. Exactly 10 pips higher. So these areas here, these two areas, be looking for potential short side entries. This looked bad. I mean, this looked good, right? Moving higher. And this is another one of those scenarios. You got risk markets starting to roll over. Bitcoin starting to roll over. You would think you would start seeing some yen strength. We are currently getting that now. It is early in the morning, so we will be watching this asset. This asset, though, is bullish, right? It is bullish. So taking a short on it, when you take shorts on assets that are bullish, they typically don't work out as well, right? But the way price action's been moving, it kind of looked like it was stalling out. A couple days closing above your 21, so you're well above the 21. So if you do look to take a short, make sure you have your risk situated on the trade, because just this candle's moving lower now. It doesn't mean you're going to see sell side continuation. Look at this nasty candle. Forex.com, they're terrible for that. They get a lot of that. It's probably at the open. It is. Yeah, that's why it's there. It's at the open. The spread. Stopping everybody out that got long yesterday. If you got long here, you were stopped out with this wick and the spread. Disgusting. So watch those two areas on that. Let's go look at Aussie Yen, because Aussie Yen is like one of the premier risk indicators. Yeah, it's looking like it wants to roll over. Even the order flows is checking it out. Finding a little bit of trouble here. And it's already gave a signal. Already gave an entry. Bip. That was your entry right there on this asset. Right there. 81,724. That's what you'll be looking for on the pound yen. If you throw a stop up above that wick high, 1% risk. That's all you're looking to risk. 1% on these trades, because they don't always work. We don't know what price is going to do, but that's your high probable entry. You can see how how Aussie already did it. I wish I would have looked at this one first. It would have been too late anyways, but that is the entry. You're starting to see downside continuation, which is fantastic. Yeah, that, and you're just, yeah, that, I mean, you don't get no better than that, folks. You don't get no better than that. That's already here. It's already gone. It's already been here and gone. Let's go look at Swiss franc versus the Japanese yen. Kind of an opposite signal. It's trading at the lows of the day. The second, 1700 hours. So we're trading at the low of days on this one. So probably leave this one alone. Is it possible that it finds resistance right there at 124.483? Yeah, it's possible. You can watch that level. The hourly close above that means you're not taking a trade on this asset, because this is your entire daily range. Right there's your high of day. This candle's wick. That's your current high of day. And then this was low of day. But you can see here on last hour, you push down below low of day, and that's why you're getting a bounce. This is also why we take profits in front of the low of day if we're shorting, or in front of the high of day if we're going long, because that typically happens quite often. When you take out the low of day, you move higher for a bounce. Same scenario for the high of day. Take out high of day, you can typically see a bounce. NZD yen, it's up 0.29%. So what's the difference here? New Zealand strength is obviously the difference. Trading into an old area of support. I don't think I would use this support anymore. I would just look at this candle here, because that's your resistance. So you might be potentially looking at a short lining up here, but I don't like this wick. I don't like the fact that you traded down, took out the previous day's low, and now you're getting a big bullish bounce. You are in the resistance, however, and you are shortable. The 21 exponential moving average is probably up in this area here. Let's go take a look. Yeah, there it is, perfectly situated right where we thought it would be. So yeah, I mean, I don't like that at all, but it could still roll over here. That is resistance. These are your high probable areas for trade entries. So if you wanted to take a short on New Zealand Japanese yen, maybe you could do it today, but it's awful bullish, right? Intraday price action is extremely bullish. Your London session made a bounce, right? So this is last night, trading down lower. Maybe it had some news, I don't know. Trades down lower, breaks down below support. That was a trap. So this took it out, and then it pulls in, finds support, boom, straight up. So it's got a lot of momentum to the upside. So I don't know if I like that one. Probably would watch pound yen. I think that would be my favorite one to watch. So, and up here obviously would be the best entry, 155.578. better than this one. This would be your supply zone, right? 155, 476 would be your supply zone. It's just that means you got from here all the way to the wick an 17.2 pip risk. And I would rather get that risk tightened up. But I mean, I can't make price do what I want it to do. Wouldn't that be cool if I could? See how that tightens your risk from 18 pips to 7? Just by letting it get to there. So yeah, that's what I would wait on. That would be the best entry in my opinion. And like I said, guys, this could just be a pullback because your price action was bullish. Yeah, so just keep an eye on it. Let's go look at Euro Yen. I don't have that on watch. We'll have to go pull that one up. And then we'll check out USD Jpy, see what it's doing. So it looks very similar to all the other yen pairs. Big, strong, huge bullish day out of this region. This was resistance until you had a breakout. So now this is resistance. And you're bullish on the day. You did take out this swing high right there. See that? That's your liquidity run. That's your stop run. Anybody that got short here, in these 3 days, they're done. That just stopped them out. So that's to generate liquidity. See what it wants to do now. It's not a massive bearish reaction. In fact, this hourly push is still intact. That is also your breakout. This is resistance here. That's a breakout. That's a close. That's a pullback. Comes back in, tests it, shoots up. So I would probably want to see that fall. Meaning I would want to see this get lower. Take out this wick at least. But I just don't like the way it's structured for a short. It looks like it can still rip to the upside. And that's not a lot of weakness either. Just because it's a bearish candle doesn't mean it's going to continue. Euro Swissy, almost exactly the same scenario. What's Euro USD doing? Euro USD. It's down on the day. At the low of days. Or at the low of day. Not days. Day. Still trading inside of yesterday's range. That would have been your entry. Or close to it. Looking for shorts. You got a test there. But that was at the Asian session. We don't trade the Asian session. Here's your London session candle here. 3 o'clock in the morning. Trades up to hourly res. And finds resistance. Continuation. Boom. You're coming into a potential area of demand. So we would not be looking to short this. Not at the lows like this. So the only trade I see that I like so far would be the pound yen trade. And that will quit. Like, you see how this closed right back above? But that's not any, I mean, so this is your rules. If you get an hourly close above 155, spot 577, then the short is wrong. This level here. Because you already got a close above supply or demand. Or this actually would be supply. But you closed back above it. So this is where I like the entry, but an hourly close above it, the short I do not like any longer. And that may not happen until 8 o'clock. Most of your cryptos are red. Let's go check them out here on the Kucoin. Every one of them is red except IMX, USDT. Why is this one green? Let's go look. Immutable X. So this is that, it's a fairly new asset. There's really nothing to do on it. You did take out that swing high here. So maybe it wants to head lower. You are in a downtrend. You can short this asset. You are into the 50 exponential moving average. That means you're probably really close to the 21. You're above it. You're above the 21. So today's close is going to be important to change for a potential reversal. But this is also a decent spot to look for high probable shorts. Let's go into the hourly chart. I don't know if you can trade this on. I don't know if there's a futures on this. So this might just be. You might just have to trade the coin itself. But it's not a bearish reaction. I mean, you are getting a pullback from there, but that's not a bearish reaction. And you already took the high out right there with that wick. So, I don't know. I mean, if you're going to short it, look to short it around this area here. But just be careful. Make sure you manage your risk because it's got a lot of bullish. See, this is all strength. Right? And I don't like shorting into strength. I like shorting into weakness. A pop in weakness. I guess one could say that is a pop in weakness, right? Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this one as well. What else was there? I seen a couple more. Mana, that's just barely in the greens, so this is probably going to roll over. Mana gave you a pretty good short side entry here with this push higher. Same scenario, a close below. You're not looking to short it any longer. 2.58. If it pushes up into that, another wick might be a potential good spot for an entry. And it would look something like this. And you're not going to try to get yesterday's low because it's so far, or the daily low, excuse me, because it's pretty far away. There's your open. So I would probably look to just get that wick there. Boom. That's a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Whether it works or not, it's two different things. Good morning, good morning. Shorting pound dollar, says Ray. Let's go look at pound dollar. Ray. For Mr. Ray. It's red on the day. You're structured bullishly. Yeah, you're structured bullishly, but I mean, if price wants to come down and test the 21 exponential moving average for a bounce, then you do have a potential short side entry or, a short side move targeting yesterday's open. That would be my target. Yesterday's open. There. So 1.35, that would be my bearish target. That's where I would take profits and look to exit my position. It's pushing lower. You got a new low day. So, I mean, taking a short on this is shorting it at the lows. At the lows. Come on, Ray. You're part of the Discord. You know better than that. I'm just kidding, man. It might work out. Let's go look at the dollar. Let's see what it's doing today. Yes. Yes, that's what we want to see for these short side entries to continue to work. I want to see that dollar strength. It's not strong, though. I mean, it's a pullback at best at this part. See, we did get that move. That's what we were looking for, but Bitcoin did the exact opposite thing, right? The other day's video, I said I want to see it come into resistance and then pull back, and that might give Bitcoin the strength it needs to trade higher to get to those areas that we were looking to target. No. The dollar trades off, so that part of the analysis worked, but Bitcoin did too. Like, what are you doing, Bitcoin? You're doing the wrong thing, bro. You're going the wrong way. So Bitcoin was telling everybody that the dollar was probably going to turn around, or at least find support. And it did find support at a 2-hour level here. That's kind of sort of where it found support. It did close below, so that new closure would then become your support. But it held. Now you're seeing a little slight push up. But as you can see, you're coming into potential resistance on the dollar. There. You've already tacked it. Bing. So you've already rung that bell. Let's see what happens. Today's going to be good. Going to be fun. Good morning, guys. Laid in. Well, hello, Mr. Carl. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, Heath. I'm short S&P 500 for. Oh, let me go up and then I'll come back and read your question, Danny. Wait here. Let me just finish reading it. Good morning, Heath. I'm short S&P 500 for 45.88. This is monthly supply and the 618 of the previous month. Thoughts? It sounds like it's a fantastic place to look, my friend. It sounds like it's a perfect place to look. So last month's supply, which is there, I've already got it written in there as monthly Heath level there. So price did trade up into it. Just be careful shorting and taking day trades based on monthly levels, right? Because, it could take all month for that trade to work out. But yeah, that's that. And then you said 50% retracement of last month's range. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Let's get rid of everything except the monthly. Fantastic stuff, dude. Liquidity's already been smoked down there, so that's why we seen a bounce, right? That's why we got this big bounce. However, is it time for this trending candle to continue? Because this is a trending candle. If you take out support, that is a trending candle. There's only 3 kinds of candles: trending candle, inside candle, outside candle. That's it. This is an outside candle that is also a trending candle. So you look for the trend to continue. Fantastic stuff. That weekly, right up into that. Boom. Your monthly 618 retracement. Fantastic. That's where the S&P 500 found resistance. We were looking for it to find resistance at the weekly range, but it didn't. The weekly range was down here. So it was looking, so maybe one can infer that that S&P 500 is looking for rocky conditions for like longer term. A test of a 618 monthly range, and then they find some resistance there, and you're getting continuation. You've already taken out yesterday's low. Already. Boom. So, but it could just be a pullback, right? That's not a massive sell side candle. But today's just getting started. We still have the New York session to go through. And that could make that range expansion happen down to the $4,500 region. If it stays as a tight range candle like this, that is not going to be a bearish signal. Okay? So what you want to see for your short side entry, hopefully you got pinged in right there. So you're already in well into profits, right? So you could take those profits and move your stop to break even, and then just let the rest ride. Be a fantastic trade if the downtrend continues. But this range is not a big down range, is what I'm trying to say. So if it stays small like this, like if it trades as an inside day, then that's going to look more bullish than bearish to me. So today's kind of like a very important day for a lot of these markets. If you remember on Tuesday, I also said that getting above the weekly, you know what I mean? It might get above the weekly for a day or two and then roll over. I did say that, so you can go back and check it out if you don't, you know what I mean, just to see. But that's what's possibly happening, right? Get off there. Let's go. What's wrong with you? Do what I say. So we traded above it. Well above it. Well above it. Right here. Boom. Closed above it. Traded above the 618 even. But you're seeing downside continuation. So Tuesday was here before this happened. While, we when we started the session, price was down in here. So this range expansion happened during the New York session. So I was like, this thing could absolutely turn around after it's been up here for a day or two. This could just be getting offsides, getting people offsides, making them see strength where there really isn't none, right? And then roll over. And that's what it looked like it did yesterday. It looks like it's about to drop. It did break support to the downside. So range expansion to the down. Next hourly res is 45.19. That's that bullish candle there. It's an old resistance. We were looking for a support test. So it looks like you could get an expansion from here to here, right? Somewhere in there, from there to there. That would be what I would target. That would be the only thing I would target. I wouldn't be trying to target much more than that. I know it can get down there with one candle like that if that happens, but that's your next area of resistance. That's your next rung on the ladder, so to speak. But fantastic stuff, man. Keep trading like that, buddy, and you will be fine. You will be fine. That's fantastic stuff. It's what I love to see when people actually start listening and learning the strategy and then start applying it. Good things happen. Good things happen. Silver, says Dion. Let's go look at silver. I had a brain fart. Okay, got it. My brain was farting there. I couldn't think of silver's ticker symbol. So you're coming off because dollar, right? Coming off because of the dollar. I mean, came right into resistance. There's our line from Saturday or Tuesday's live stream. Traded up into it, and unfortunately, you found resistance there. Boom. And we were more or less looking for that because RSI was in bearish control zone. Anything under 50, you're bearish. Right? On the daily only. On the daily only. So we were leaning more bearish than bullish on this asset. Next area of support on daily is 22.19. You can round it up to 22.20 if you want. It's moving that way currently. You are into daily support right now. You're trading below it right now. So I mean, it looks like the next stop is going to be $22.19. And then your next spot after that is 21.95. If you lose this one, this will be your next one. And then this is your longer term support, your range low support. So you can see how silver's trading in like this range from 25.31 to 21.53. So that's going to be your bottom end support. It might take all week to get there, or next week to get there. So just watch your two daily supports. That's where you're going. These two levels here. If you're looking to buy it there, just understand that you're trying to buy an asset that's in an obvious downtrend. Good morning, BuzzyMan55. Paolo B says, why holding SPY for so long? Thought you were usually cut losers early if they move in the wrong direction. Because Bitcoin was going lower. So when I take entries, I watch all markets. Because by watching all the other markets, if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, then that will let me know that I'm wrong. Right? If Bitcoin was going up yesterday with the SPY, with the Qs, with the Russell, then I would have exited that position like that. Because I would have been on the wrong side of the trade. I did cut some of it, right? I did cut half of it. I'm not going to sit and hold my full entire position, but I just felt like something was up. Like the market just didn't seem right yesterday. So as soon as it closed, I seen that big red candle. I was like, that's why. More than likely, they're just trying to draw people off sides for a bullish pop that generates enough liquidity for the market to head lower. So that's why I held it. I just wanted to see what it did the next day. But yeah, I don't suggest you do that, Paulo, because if you're new, right, you need to get in a good habit. You need to make good habits and stick to those. And eventually, when you got more market experience, then you can start making judgment calls like that. Can on boo you, boy you. Ben, I have no clue what you're saying, my friend. Run DMC, can we look at the month? We looked at that. Apologies. Dead cat bounce will come at some time. 30K to 47 would be nice. Yeah. I mean, you've been trading lower for 3 solid months, so yeah, we are looking for a bounce When and where, that's the problem. Every single pop on Bitcoin's getting sold into. That's vicious. How much leverage do you typically use when trading Forex? Also, do you recommend any platform specifically for trading Forex? Thank you, bro. Not really, because it depends on where you are in the world. Some places you can't use OANDA, right? I mean, it just depends on where you are in the world. You can do your own research, read, read what people have to say about the... Ugh. You just got it all over me. Oh, now I smell like cat food. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. It's okay, my hands are soaked. That's okay. Don't worry about that. Alright, trying to feed Mr. Pepe this morning. She couldn't get it open, so I go to open it. She had it open just a little, just enough for it to spill out on me. Alright, now I smell like tuna fish. Alright, moving on. Good morning. Okay, we read that one. How much so I have my leverage. I'm in America, so we can only use 50 to 1, and that's only on certain pairs. Like the pound pairs, most brokers will only let you use 20x leverage on them because the pound moves so rapidly. Right? It's got a higher alpha, so it moves quicker. That's why you're not allowed to have as much leverage on it. But some places in the world will let you go up to 500x leverage. I do not recommend that, obviously. What margin is good for is taking multiple 1% trades. That's what margin is really good for. When you're trying to use leverage just to make one trade, make you more money, you're already heading down a wrong path. Very wrong path. Leverage is to help you. It can also destroy you. So what I typically do, if you use OANDA, for instance, and TradingView, we'll use those two platforms, it calculates everything for you. It brings up an order pane, and that order pane window automatically calculates everything. You can adjust your percentage risk and everything. So that way it automatically calculates it for you, takes that position for you, and then the margin you have left over from taking that one position will allow you to take another 1% position risk, 1% risk position. So you could take like multiple 1% risk positions in FX to basically hedge what's right or wrong, right? You can do that if you're a swing trader. You can say short dollar yen and go long euro yen, right? And then close out the one that's losing or whatnot to basically generate a little bit of alpha here and there. So, I mean, there's millions of different strategies you can employ, but your brokerage, I use OANDA. That's what I use in America. And so far I've been using Forex.com. But if you're going to use Forex.com, I don't recommend you use their spread account because their spreads are freaking garbage. They are garbage. Absolutely terrible. SP 500 might hit trendline connected from Jan 4 to Jan 12. You said S&P 500, so I'll pull up the SPX 500 USD and see if I can find that trend line. You said Jan 4, Jan 12. Might hit it. So maybe something like this. Yeah, it might. It did already. I have Jan 13th. You said 12, but if I put it on Jan 12, it's already hit it. But if you're just looking at the SPX, then it might be different. But there it is right there. It's already hit it. And you're getting downside continuation still. So, yeah. Resistance, for sure. Fell at 10 says I bought I hope Bitcoin tanks a little longer. I just sold my house and I'm putting all profits into Bitcoin at end of month. Wife is nervous. I am not. That is leveraging Bitcoin to its extent. Oh man. I would do it too, but I would rather do it near the end of the year. Give this choppiness some time to play out. Because I called the bear market months ago, right? So we're potentially heading for a bear market because of so many different reasons why. So I would wait for that bear market to play out a little longer. Like, you just got it started, right? This is still February, the very beginning of February. So you're 1 month into this year. I like your plan. I don't know if I like your timing. Now, that doesn't mean I'm right either, because I don't know what price is ever going to do. You could be absolutely 100% right. But I do believe Bitcoin will be trading for a lot more money in 10 to 15 years. Millions of dollars per coin I can see it getting to eventually. But that's just me. That's what I would do. But I do like the plan. I would wait a little longer. That's just me. But good stuff, man. Good stuff. That's thinking. That could save, you know what I mean? That could end up, if Bitcoin does eventually run, which I think it will, come 2024, you're going to have another halving. So, I mean, if past history is any indication of what could potentially happen, start looking to buy closer towards the halving and just sit on your hands and wait. And then let that turn into multiple houses. I like it, though. I like it. Love it. That's using your head. Would you recommend trading crypto on Kucoin or Binance? I use Kucoin. I do not use Binance. I'm in America, though, so some brokers just won't allow Americans to trade there. I know they have Binance US, but I just started using Kucoin, and I've been using it. I have no troubles with it. It gives me good fills. Executions are good. The platform's a little clunky, but all you got to do is when you take your entry, refresh the page, and it'll show you everything. It's just, the platform could use some tuning up. But as far as entries, exits, stuff like that, fills, all that stuff I love. KuCoin's a good platform. I can't recommend it or don't recommend it. If they want to pay me, then I will recommend them. But that's what I use. So that in itself is a recommendation. Thank you, November or Now 2020. You are welcome, my friend. Good morning, Mr. Tom. How are you, sir? Good morning, guys. Laid in. Hey, all smash the like. Janet Swift, good morning. Heath, good morning. Already closed 2/3, stop at break even. Nice work, Ray. Is Aussie USD likely to head lower? Saw a lower structural low on daily, nearing weekly res. I suspect I have this backwards, though. Cheers. Let's go look at it. I don't know if you have it backwards or not. We were looking for Aussie strength at the beginning of the week simply because dollar was into resistance. Right? Dollar was into resistance. So we were looking for a bounce down here. That trade worked out like a top. Look at that. At the London session, though. It didn't give us an entry at the New York session. But you London guys could have taken this trade, and it was a fantastic trade. I mean, boom. Hit support and then went up for the rest of the day. All the way to the close. But you are into daily res. So let me get rid of all this stuff. I want to keep those longer term levels up there, though. Let's keep the yearly and the monthly. So that's why we were looking for a bounce. You're into daily res, daily demand. I mean, you've already taken out yesterday's low, so you are seeing downside continuation. You said you saw a structural low on the daily. You're correct. You did take out the low. Nearing weekly res. Let's go look at the weekly. Yeah. Your resistance would be up here. That would be like supply or old support, right? There's the breakdown. There's the retest. And then boom. So yeah, it was nearing that for sure. And then also, you can see how you closed below this week. So we were looking for a bounce at the beginning of the week, but I believe that bounce will be sold into. And it is being sold into currently. So it looks like you are right, my friend. You are shorting at the lows, but so is everybody that's shorting Bitcoin right now, right? These are big lows down here. Monthly support, yearly support. So a lot of support. A lot of big support. I'm taking day trades. I would short it too today. I would short it all the way down there if it wants to go down there. But as far as like longer term directional biases on Aussie, we need more data. We need to see if we can close weeklies below the monthly and yearly support levels. Because if we can, then we're going to look to short it for the year with taking, intermittent day trades. But it looks like you're right today. New low. So if you're looking for new entries, then I would watch yesterday's open and yesterday's close as potential entry points. So we'll go into the hourly and see what that looks like. Oh crap. Let's get rid of this. So yeah, this is where I'd look. This is your daily range today here. Where's your daily open? Boom, 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 all the way up there. So you opened, traded lower, came in, checked yesterday's demand zone. Look at this trap. See that trap? Closed above resistance. Here, there's your close above. There's your trap. Boom, that's your trap indicator as well. So when price traded up, this was the entry. But that happened at 4 o'clock in the morning. That was the entry for the short. And I would have taken that all day long because this was a trap. And then the very next hourly told us it was a trap. Or told us that there was a high likelihood that there was a trap, right? Because there's nothing in trading that will give you an exact confirmation of something going to happen. There's nothing, no strategy. This one's good, it's close, but it's as good as you're going to get. Let me see here. Where was I? I hate when that happens. There we go. Good morning, guys, says Robert Hess. Good morning, Danny. Good morning, Heath. Okay, we talked about that. Jay Khan, you're amazing, boss. I love watching you live. Thank you so much, Jay, for the support. I really appreciate it. Yo, says Carl. Yo, my friend. Run DMC 555. Message detracted. What do you think of Facebook shorting it with bad news? It was earnings. It wasn't bad news. It was bad earnings. It's already, no. No, the short was yesterday. You do not want to short into this because likely what's going to happen is this move right here is going to have stopped out a lot of people. Anybody that got long on Facebook for months or days and days and days all the way to here. So not months. Yeah, it was months. April 2023 was the last time you were trading in this range. Okay? Well, you stopped out everybody for over a year or almost a year. So what's that, about 7 months-ish, roughly? So what's going to happen is when the market opens, that demand is going to come into the markets. All those buy orders getting triggered. Or wait, no, they're sell orders, sorry, getting triggered. You're likely to see a bounce at the open, is what I'm trying to say. That is a huge, huge move. Huge. Let's see how big. 24% down. So their earnings must have been terrible. Guidance, they must have missed on everything. That is huge. And that's part of the FANG, so maybe this asset is what's causing the S&P to come off a bit. But I would not be looking to short Facebook. Not at the open. No way, Jose. I would need that thing to get back up in the 290, 250 before I'd look to even come close to taking a short on it. It's already happened. Already happened. So many Bitcoin longs are trapped not getting exits they expected. Nope, that's true. So you can see much lower prices for sure. For sure. Hello from Turkey, says Yusuf. Hello, Yusuf. What about last alt season? That's still pending according to history. I don't pay attention to alt seasons. I can't comment on it. I just don't know. Right? I know a lot of people are looking for a new alt season because dominance, I guess that's what they look for when they're talking about alts. A new alt season. I mean, dominance is range bound in a very, very tight range, 47 to 39%. And it looks like it's rolling over. I think in order to have an alt season, you need a move like this. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like it's losing power. The bounces are getting smaller. So if you start getting below the 39% region, maybe you do see a pop in some alts, not all of them, some of them. Most of them are going to trade whatever Bitcoin does. That's my experience anyways. You might have a couple outliers like Luna and a few others that might get a significant bounce. But I don't know. All right, hit the like, guys. Do it for Pepe. Says Potatoes. Thank you, Potato. Good morning, Heath. Euro pound, and then that'll be the last one as it is 6:30, and I am looking for a Forex trade this morning. This thing has been getting crushed. Absolutely spanked. Just every bounce getting sold into. That's because Euro's been so weak due to the dollar. We were watching this area a couple weeks ago. It lost it, and it's trading below it. It's just so extended to the downside. I mean, you're printing divergence like crazy here. So, I mean, it smells like eventually this is going to roll over. I just hate getting long at these lows because it can continue. But if you are watching it for a potential long based on daily divergences, then you're going to be watching daily support that was put in here, and you're testing it today. So a close below that, you're going to have to look for a lower support zone, and you might not find it on the daily. Wait a minute, we got something here. Yeah, there's a support there on the daily. So it's right there, though. I mean, you're definitely at some long-term lows on this thing, and you are printing divergence. So it'll probably bounce here soon. But you are trying to pick a bottom by getting long this asset. Let's see if you got divergence on the weekly. No, you do not. So there was your low, and then you did make a lower low. So you don't have any divergence on the weekly time frame. 2 week, nope. Monthly, nope. The monthly's still trending lower. The monthly still looks lower. So, I mean, you have divergence on the daily, but that's the only time frame. Maybe if you get divergence on the weekly, then I would look for bullish entries, but I wouldn't be looking for them right yet. You still got multiple regions, and it looks like they're aiming for these lows. I mean, it's all the way back here even. Tons of liquidity. If you get down below that, then I would be looking for a bounce for sure. But you're at the lows. At the lows. Give it some time. Watch daily support if you're so, like if you love the trade and you're definitely wanting to take a long soon on it. I don't know if I would look to short it either, especially since it is printing bullish divergence on the daily. A lot of times that means the trade is just super extended and, you know, don't really want to take it either direction. Just watch daily support. If this level holds, it's already held once. See where it closes today. If it continues to hold for another day or so, we might be looking to take some long scalps and see if those scalps can turn into something else. But it's just not quite ready. Not quite ready. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. As always, thank you so much for your support. If you have any questions, as always, just drop them down in the comment section once YouTube's done with their thing. and I try to answer them all. You guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody.